Well, we now know what James Gunn's 10-year plan is going to look like, at least in the beginning. And one of those characters that he is bringing to life that was a bit of a surprise is Booster Gold. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about Booster, why he's kind of important to the DCU, and what other character this might have revealed should be showing up any moment. Well, as many of you know, Booster Gold is apparently going to be part of the new DCU. We just broke down James Gunn's 10-year plan, and Booster is getting his own film. Now, the character has come to life a few times in previous incarnations, such as Smallville and Legends of Tomorrow, and in animation, but this will indeed be the first time he has come to life on the big screen. Now, this is one of those characters that Gunn and Safran appear to have been listening to the masses because Booster Gold is a fan favorite. But he's not a character that's well known outside of comic book circles. Now, Booster Gold's real name is Michael John Carter, and he made his first appearance in Booster Gold #1 way back in 1986 and was created by Dan Jurgens. Now, he is a time-traveling superhero from the future, coming from the 25th century, but he's also a washed-up athlete who stole some advanced technology from a museum to try to become a superhero in modern day. Initially, his intentions are pretty selfish, but one of the notable things of the character is how he evolves to become a true hero. Now, some of the items that he stole from the museum include a Legion flight ring, one of Brainiac's force field generators, and even one of Rip Tyler's time spheres. So he really does have some interesting powers in the comics, and once again, you can see a time-traveling story finding its way into the DCU. As a matter of fact, one of his most notable stories is The Greatest Story Never Told, where Booster accidentally causes a chain of events that basically threaten the whole DC universe. As you guys remember, we were hearing stories about Guardians of the Galaxy casting members coming over to the DCU, and Booster Gold is one of those places one would fit perfectly. I'm going to have to agree with the general fan casting that Chris Pratt really would make a great Booster Gold. Pratt obviously has the experience playing a hero, but Booster Gold might actually be well tuned to his style of acting and comedy, and honestly, I could totally see him in the classic Booster Gold costume. The character often ends up the butt of many jokes. He actually got his name because Carter couldn't pronounce it right, and then Reagan renamed him Booster Gold, but even called him Buster. And this type of self-deprecating humor is something Chris Pratt absolutely excels at. Now, the character in the comics is also very well known for having a great best friend, and that would be Ted Kord. Now, if you're familiar with the comics, Ted Kord is the Blue Beetle, at least the guy that had the Blue Beetle mantle before Jaime Reyes took up the role, and this really makes you wonder how all this is going to fit together with the upcoming Blue Beetle movie. We know that Ted's sister, Victoria, is part of the upcoming film, and something has happened to Ted. Now, whether Ted is actually dead or somehow racing off with Booster Gold, so you can totally see how Ted's disappearance and the introduction of Booster Gold really could get fans wondering about what the history of these two characters might actually be. One of the nice things about time-traveling stories is you're not bound to the current timeline. You can jump around a little bit, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do with Booster Gold. Now, this is not the only temporal story in this initial kickoff from James Gunn. One of the next ones we're going to talk about is Woman of Tomorrow, the upcoming Supergirl movie. And again, there's a temporal element to that I think should get fans pretty interested, so stay tuned.